Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And now we're going to share. Now am I sharing my screen? Do you see?
Yes.
Hey, level up. Hey, okay. So thank you for joining us. I just started the recording again. So this is take 2. Oh my goodness. There we go. Do you guys see that nice and big, or do I need to?
No.
No.
You need to go to, where is this?
I'm on slideshow. And I'm on big.
So,
You're not on Google Slides, are you?
No, I'm on PowerPoint.
Three
Okay.
in the top left where it says from the beginning,
Uh-huh.
like that.
There we go. Now are you seeing the grade?
No.
Okay.
Present online.
And let's share again. I am so sorry, guys. Share
Present
screen.
online, Marie, see if that's it.
Okay, are we there now?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
beautiful.
All right. Cassie, take it away.
Is it me first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome to the last call, you guys. How exciting. Congratulations on being here. It does take some work, but you're here, so that means that you are leveling up. So this week, we are going to be talking about host coaching and recruiting, I believe is what it said.
Are you seeing the white screen now? Or
Yes.
Okay.
And then we also will talk a little bit about the belief triangle as well. So really quick, we're going to do a recap. And hey, Sue and Peggy, if I'm taking over your thing, let me know, okay?
Okay.
But we're going to refresh. Let's just go through what we had for homework last week. So in the chat, if you guys can comment how many points you are increasing in Dash. I have to say, you guys, I'm really making a point to get on Dash, and I am realizing how much of a resource it is. And it really shows you, walks you through so many things, including watching Julie Ritter's story and things like that. Make sure you're going on. Like, I will be honest, I wasn't doing so good getting on it until we started this group. And now I'm realizing how beneficial it is.
Cassie, I can report that Melanie increased by 350, Amy by 160, Sandra 75, Vanessa 150, and Paula says I am maxed out.
Yes, I love it. And then we have our contacts. I think you guys are realizing how important it is to get that habit of making those contacts, because that's going to keep you booking parties. I'm going to skip the story one real quick. And then just keeping a running list of your potential recruits. It's always good to know when to follow up with them and let them know when there may be a special or it might be the right time. It doesn't hurt to check in with them every month. Life can change. And the Teach Me webinars, all of those are good. And then I want to go back to the write your story and record a video. First of all, you guys rock. Like, it was really great watching your guys' stories. And so we want to just have you put in the chat, when you're watching other people's stories, what were the things that you liked about them?
Sue, I don't know if you want to be guardian of the chat right now. And
I can see it now too, since I'm not. So honesty, they were honest, open, real, authentic, a different story. That's what I really want to say. It's so important when you're talking about recruiting to say that we have consultants on our team that work full time. We have consultants on our team that are stay-at-home moms, retired, sharing, because Pampered Chef can fit in so many different lifestyles, and you want to really reach all kinds of people. They're honest. So think about not just the content, but how did it look? Are there things that you think that would, like, what are some stories that you really felt made an impact? Like, what did you hear? What did you see in their stories? I want to say when I watched Julie Ritter's on Dash, which I did post in the Level Up group, I loved how she reached out to so many different kinds of people, like you said. And also, we want it to look somewhat professional, right, you guys? You may want to rehearse it a little bit. You want to keep it under 4 minutes, if possible, and find out share your passion, you guys. And I know if you ever see any of like the ones that are really high up in our company, a lot of times you see them in their kitchen with all their kitchen stuff out with their aprons, and you can just see how they really worked hard to create it. So I love that we have the place where we can all share. And so now we want to just practice, like that was a good practice. And some of you guys have it perfected, but keep going back to it. Your story can change, and you want to make it sound real, like many of you did, and make it impactful. So keep practicing. What else? Any other people on here, like the directors that were running this, what else would you say would be a go-to for your story? Make sure that is a good habit to do.
I think touching several, you want your story to be yours, but you also want to touch particular people's lives in the sense of, like you talk about the flexibility, or talking about maybe needing money or needing fun or paying a bill or something like that. Just something so that if you're a garbage person, not everybody's a garbage person, so they're not all going to relate to you as a sanitation engineer. But if you talk about how you needed the flexibility or how you needed to pay for kids, sports or dance or something like that, or you wanted a job where you felt like you were doing something, being recognized for something, just like different broad areas to touch on that people can relate to, because they can't always relate to our profession or exactly our situation, but they can relate to needing more money or needing flexibility or different things like that. Does that, do people
would
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That you want to appeal to a wide variety. So some people do that, I started to earn some extra money to pay a bill. Others are doing it for just some fun money. I would also say just a couple little tips, and it's something that you'll learn. You want to keep it short and sweet. You want to make sure you look at the camera. And here's my cheater. Do you see my little dot, my little smiley sticker? I put that next to the camera so that if I'm doing a video, I know where to look, and even if my camera's turned around, I know where the camera is located at. And also be your best self. If you're going to use this for a show, it's not that your hair needs to be perfect, but take a quick look at yourself in the mirror before you put the video on. If you're not at your best, you can always just video your hands, but then again, make sure your fingernails are clean if you're doing a food video. Just, little check-in moment. So that would be what I would add, Cassie.
Great job, guys. I love how encouraging our group is. That is the best part of the Pampered Chef family, is we all share and we are willing to get out of our comfort zone, and we feel comfortable doing that within our group. So great job. If you want to go to the next one, Marie. There we go. So with that all being said, basically be confident, you guys. So you guys can see all this here, but you want to make sure that you know that you can do it. And if you think that way, it will happen. And there may be some obstacles along the way, but you can see those quotes. We have persistence is really important, and hard work, and basically belief. And if you look at the above the line and below the line thinking, you will see if you are above the line, you are going to see it, you're going to own it, solve it, and then do it. And you're not going to be looking at those excuses. Do you see how that just all goes together? And they're just like stepping stones, where if you look at the bottom, those are all excuses. You're going to wait and see what's going to happen. You're not going to take control of it. You're going to wait for someone to tell you what to do. You're your own boss and pampered chef. You're going to come up with excuses, finger pointing, things to cover your tail, ignore, deny, say it's not your job. And so you want to be above the line in all of your thinking, and you can do it. Is this still me, Marie? Sorry.
I think it's Sue.
No, I can take this one, but I had the next one, but it goes along with the next slide. So Cassie,
Sorry.
take a breath and I'll take over. So first of all, welcome everybody. We are thrilled to see you, and the fact that you're investing in your time speaks volumes. So we're really very proud of all of you. The next few screens are all about belief, and it all starts with you. Belief is such an incredibly powerful word, and if you are comfortable to share these numbers in the chat, we'd love to hear from you, but really take a moment and reflect and answer these questions on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you believe that you can build your skills and succeed in reaching your booking and recruiting goals? Because if you automatically say, no, nobody was going to want to have a show, you've already set your mindset. You've got to believe that everything that we offer is here to help people. So Paula is a 9. Thank you for commenting in the chat. Do you believe that you can promote to director in 30 to 90 days? There are incredible stories on the STIR, so please take advantage of that. These are so inspirational, and you can get so much knowledge and so many strategies from these. So a lot of people are answering 6s and 7s and 9s. Thank you. How about, do you believe that you can be a strong leader for your team? And as Cassie was just saying, this group is wonderful because we are all our own individual business owners, but we have such incredible support. So when you have a question, you can certainly ask and reach out, and people are here for support. Because when you truly understand just how powerful the concept of belief really is, it will change your life. The next slide shows the triangle that we want to talk about. So let's go to the next slide, please. So the belief triangle, let's take a look at this. And I encourage, if you have your phone handy, take a screenshot of this, because when you're having that moment, because working in a home office sometimes can be a blessing and a challenge. And this is a great slide to go back and remind yourself that the belief triangle is huge, because your belief will determine your actions, and the actions that you take will determine the results. And the results that you get will then reinforce your beliefs. But this can work in a positive or a negative, and it all starts with you. So if you take a look at Muhammad Ali, it is the repetition of affirmations that lead to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. You've got to believe, yes, people need what we have to offer. Yes, I'm going to make contacts and book those shows. Yes, I'm going to offer the host 5 times about the business opportunity. In sharing your story, you have to believe that what you do and what you offer can help anyone at any time. So let's take a look at an example on the next slide, how your belief can be a pro or a con. Let's take a look. So I love that picture on the bottom right, where you have the cat and the dog looking in the mirror. So you might have a small house cat and truly believes it's much bigger than it is, much more fierce than it is, and believes that it is a fierce lion, it is a fierce tiger, it's a fierce animal. And then you can have a large size animal and the belief is like, yeah, I'm not really sure, and people can steamroll me, and I'm a little bit, the perception and the belief is just so incredible. So let's take a look that if your belief, and these are all the negative mindsets, and this is where you're falling below the line. If you believe that people are so busy today that they don't have time to add another commitment to their life, like a Pampered Chef business, then your actions from that belief is you're not going to ask your host 5 times. You're not going to do full service checkout and ask every party guest. And you are not even going to post or comment about the business opportunity in your virtual parties. It's like you don't even want to bring it up because you're convinced, well, everybody's too busy. Nobody has the money for a starter kit. Nobody wants to do this. It's a hard time right now. So your belief is, I don't believe it. So therefore, I'm not going to do anything about it. And then what's going to happen with your results? You didn't do anything, and you're not going to recruit on an inconsistent or a consistent basis. It's just not going to happen. Now, if you take the positive mindset, that you truly believe that Pampered Chef is an amazing opportunity for anyone. Lots of people need income. They will find a time for what's important to them. People are home cooking. They've discovered gaps they have in their kitchen. They need these products. Why not join Pampered Chef and earn them in the fall free for all for free? Your new action when you believe that we can offer what people need is you're going to be very, very consistent with asking your host 5 times. You are going to ask every single party guest. I personally believe the magic happens in that full service checkout, having conversations with every single party guest, and post a lot of opportunities in your virtual parties, whether it be games, Family Feud top 5, anything that's going to start conversation, the Q&A, and your results, because you're very, very intentional with your positive actions, you're going to start recruiting consistently. You are going to achieve more of the 4-in-1 cycles. Just to remind all of you, for every 4 parties, you should be bringing in at least 1 new team member. So you can see how the positive mindset, you believe in what you have to offer, you believe in the rewards program, you believe in the kit credit, you're going to have actions to share that information and inform and invite, and your results will show that you're bringing team members in. So take a look at the rock climber on the left. If you run into a wall, and we all do, it doesn't matter if you've been in this business 2 minutes or 20 years, we all run into obstacles. A lot of people will give up right before that magic happens. They'll turn around, they'll give up. But those of us who are intentional and believe in what we do and what we have to offer, we will figure out a way to climb over that obstacle.
Okay, so affirmations. So now this is how you start to change your beliefs. You, in order to succeed, you have to believe that you can succeed, because as Sue said, your beliefs are everything. They form a foundation. But if you don't have the basis yet for your beliefs, then these affirmations are really going to help you. You want to believe that you can do, that you can achieve anything that you want in your business, as long as you are willing to work hard enough to achieve it. If you are struggling with beliefs, then changing it with positive affirmations is something that's really going to help you, because your subconscious, that what the affirmations do is they teach your subconscious what view you're going to have of the world, whether the glass is half full or half empty. That is something that your subconscious it's just the master of what you put into it. And so you want to put the positive affirmations in. Positive affirmations are statements that are worded excuse me, as though you are already achieving something. They're specific, they're positive. So what we want you to do is come up with 3 affirmations before you end the call. So we'll go to the next slide. And here are some affirmations. And if you want to, you can take a screenshot of this. These are just examples. You can come up with your own, but these really help your brain. You're training your subconscious by saying these things over and over. And you want to use the I am, because that's present tense. That's going to be positive. And it's important to actually say these out loud twice a day. I do mine in the morning and I do them in the evening every day. So, and while I'm reading these things, maybe you can write down in the chat some of the ones that resonate with you. I am a dynamic director of a strong and growing team. I am booking 4 parties every week. I am offering the business opportunity to my hosts 5 times. I am a recruiting magnet. I am fearless in making connections. I am a great leader and role model. I am helping and inspiring others. I am a creative cook. I am a problem solver. I am someone people love to work with. And some of the things that I also do is I put a dollar amount on there, and I make $2,000 or $3,000 a month. I am a top seller. I do things like that. So let's see, do we have anybody who's, I am a great problem solver. I am a great leader. Okay. Host coaching. Now, host coaching is very important because our host is really our business partner. That is the person that is inviting you into the circle with his or her friends, or into his or her home if you're doing cooking shows. Hosts help you get in front of a lot of people. They encourage people to book parties, and we're going to be talking about that in a little bit, I think. And they often become your next team members. They're very, very important people, and you want to do your very best in partnering with them. Great host coaching will actually build your host confidence. You probably talk to people that said, well, I don't know, I never have people come to my parties, or oh, this or that. They make excuses. But if you can project that confidence, you know what? We're going to have a great party. If you follow the tips that I give you, you are going to have a great party. That is going to instill confidence in your host and help to have the successful outcome that you both want to have. When you set up a party, in my Parties and Orders on Consultants Corner, you and your hosts have a lot of valuable resources there. Number one, your host can sign into the host dashboard. There's actually a little training. It's a generic training link that you can copy and paste and give to every host so she can see how to set it up. And then each host has their own specific link that you can forward to them. They can use this tool to invite guests, to message guests, to create their wish lists, to place their order, to track their sales, and to see how much they've earned. So that's a fun thing for them and very useful. And then for you, I don't know if you realize this or not, but there's a host coaching tab for each party. And it lists what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. And you can actually use this list, a checklist, and check off item by item so you don't forget, what was I supposed to do now? When should I say this to my host? Or, that's right there. Pampered Chef has put that there so that you and that the new consultants on your team, they know exactly what they should do with their host coaching. You can also send your hosts recipes that way and links. Okay, so host coaching resources, I think that's Cassie.
Sorry, I have to unmute, right?
Yes.
So the host coaching resources, which is a lot of what somewhat Peggy talked about, but you can check them out in the STIR. They have some Teach Me webinars about them. And even though it's kind of laid out in the in Consultants Corner, I learned some new things by watching those and was like, oh, that's a smart idea. So go ahead and check those out. And they'll show you even how to message the host and change it up when you need to make it yourself. And something else I wanted to add with the host dashboard, if you click the link that you send the host for their host dashboard, you can also see it and message guests really easy from there too. I don't know if you guys know that, but if you go to their host dashboard link, you can do things as the consultant as well. And so definitely check out the other Teach Me webinars. You can find them by going to the STIR articles and searching for, or it says training on top. If you click the training, all the different Teach Me webinars will come up. It'll have the most recent first, but scroll through there, they're pretty awesome. And we talked about doing Dash training, always doing those things. They also in there do have a walkthrough of the host coaching tools. It's similar to the Teach Me webinars, but it just shows you how to use it. And there's the graphics in marketing imagery, you guys. If you look in marketing imagery, there's things that you can send to your host to have them do, and it's kind of all laid out there for you. And so don't forget about those things. And we have more host coaching resources if Marie wants to go to the next slide. There we go. So you can see on your screen there, I know it's kind of small, so get your reading glasses on and squint, but those are some of the examples of the images that you can find in marketing imagery. And so these are the big things with host coaching. I know Peggy said you may have someone that says, oh, I've never had a good party like that before. And I always say, have you worked with me before? Because I will help you make it a success. And just showing that you're confident in that will help them too. And you can tell them, I will walk you through every step. And so, and I want to say, if you do that with one host, they will help you get bookings because they know you were great to work with. So you want to get to know them. Ask them questions about themselves. Maybe even ask them if, just with their life, because maybe they have to get meals on the table quickly. Maybe they like to grill. And so there's different ways that you can share that in the parties or come up with things for them to post about for you. And make sure they build a wish list. I do that instantly when they book a party. I tell them how to create a wish list because then they're already thinking about what they're going to get. And so they're not going to want to cancel on you because they already have this big wish list. And so make sure you do that right away. Put your host for the week in a group message. So this is part of working smarter, not harder. And you can put them all in a group message and share information each day. I know sometimes I will share about the host dashboard. I will share about maybe tagging their friends or posting a welcome, all different things. There are times where you still need to do it individual, and you may see if it works out for you. it depends on my host, but sometimes I will go ahead and post the like where their sales are, and sometimes it causes a little bit of some friendly competition among themselves. You just kind of got to feel out how your hosts are for that week. And that's the provide virtual host with the daily tasks. Exactly what you need to do is write in marketing imagery. You can use those images, or if you don't want to use it, just type it out and then save it in your text replacements. We'll talk about that later. And this is where I'm really passionate, making sure we have systems so that it helps speed up things. I even have where I know exactly what I need to do for each virtual party each week. So like Tuesdays, I set up my parties. Wednesday, I invite my hosts and give them, tell them how to invite their friends. And then the next day, I have them reach out to personal message people. And then Friday is when the actual party starts. And so it just helps me know exactly what I need to do and I don't forget. And Danny Callentine, if you go to pcteamtraining.com, scroll down and you'll see she has a hat on in the video and it actually says systems and you'll see her name. But she is amazing with systems and actually shares her forms. So I use her form for, it's like a new consultant one. You guys seriously check it out. It walks you through exactly how to set up a party, set up a business page, how to create a Google form, and she has her example. Like, check it out, seriously. And Stephen Joseph is a great inspiration because he talks a lot about exactly how to get your host on board and different ways to have them help you have a successful party. So it's like basically talks to you about how to team up with your host. And have you guys seen him? Like if you have, like it kind of changes your business. No joke.
Yeah. And if you want to be like Cassie, watch Danny, because Cassie loves Danny and does Danny's system and is doing great.
Have to be organized, you guys. Otherwise I just can't handle it. Text replacement. So this is going to be your new best friend. And this is something that I've been using a lot, but after seeing this list, well, you guys will be able to get it. I'll talk about that later, but like there's so much you can do. You can have your host coaching messages in there. You can have your website link, your catalog link. And I cannot tell you how many times people on my team ask me, how do I get to the digital catalog? I'm just like, put it in your phone, like save it as text replacement. So how you're going to do it, well, I'm going to tell you, first thing is YouTube is my best friend. So you can go to YouTube and search text replacement for an iPhone, text replacement for a Samsung, whatever, and it'll tell you how to do it. I know it's going to be hard for me to show you, but if you even go on your phone right now, I have an iPhone, but go to your settings, then go to general, click the keyboard, and you'll see where you can put text replacement. So I will tell you one I have is PC Cat, and that's the Pampered Chef catalog. I have PWS is my personal website. You know, there's a ton. Marie, where are we putting this resource for them? It's this web link right here.
Yes. Patty, did you, I know Patty's muted.
I'm okay.
Where are we putting this text replacement resource? Is it on PC Team Training or where can they find this?
We'll get it up on PC Team Training. You know what? Yeah. Should I put it with, just a quick question, should I put it up with Danny's stuff or as a reference or just?
Is this Tiffany's text replacement?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do is I have created a new consultant training tab. I'm going to create, and what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put this in the level up, just do a different tab for this. And then we'll put all the resources that we're doing for this in there.
And we can put it in the Level Up Facebook group too. So,
Oh, yeah.
So you're gonna, so just to make sure, confirm, this will be in pcteamtraining.com.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be there, and just as Cassie suggested, I'll put it up in the Level Up group.
yeah, we'll put it in week 4. So I just want to make sure you guys know we will share that with you, but you can see some quick examples. So she has host-vid, and that is what she uses for the host dashboard video. TY1 is the thank you. And so what you do is you type that in your phone, and then the message will come up and you can click it, and all your typing is done. Saves you hours, you guys. Thank you to, so this is after they respond. You can say you're welcome and all those good things. But it's going to save you so much time. You may just have to change a couple things. Like in the first one, you're going to have to put their name in. But you can have that all done and ready for you. And also, just so you guys know, for Apple computers, you can also do this from your computer. I don't have an Apple, so I have to check that out and see if I can do it on my own.
You can do it on Apple. Is that what you're asking, Cassie?
No, I don't have an Apple.
Okay. But you can do it on Apple, yes. If you have a Mac. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to look at raising the bar for host coaching. And I know Peggy and Cassie have already mentioned this, and I want to reiterate that it's a partnership between you and your host. They are your most valuable business partner. And you've heard it many, many times that your host coaching is when you're earning your paycheck. And when you're having the show, that's when you're picking up your paycheck, because you have to have that rapport, that relationship. And you have to make sure that your host is very comfortable. And so if you're think about a home show, they're inviting you into their home. On a virtual show, you need to have that conversation and rapport. So there's a level of comfort and definitely a level of fun. And then you want to work with them to over invite, because we all know that not everyone's going to join. And from the ones who join, not everyone is going to order. But when you set the bar, so I will tell my host that you want to invite a minimum of 250 people, because our goal is to get a minimum of 50 people so we can get 15 to 20 orders, because on average 20 orders will equate to a $1,000 show. And this month with double free shopping, you will earn X dollars in free. So I've set the tone, I've explained the reason for the necessity, and then I set the expectation of what the host is going to do. They will help generate sales and bookings because they're comfortable. They know that it's a partnership and we are working together. So let's take a look at the next slide. So it's definitely a win-win. When you've worked with your host, you've explained the possibilities of a successful show, the fun factor, giving the daily posts, encouraging them to be an active participant. They set the tone for all the guests who they've invited into the show. It is a win-win. So if you look at these little graphics, first of all, you as the consultant, you're earning the paycheck. And as Cassie said, we want to work smarter, not harder. So if we're doing block parties, we're making posts, but we've got the hosts in a group chat. You give pictures of things that they can post every day, because you as a consultant, you want to have the very successful show for your host, because you want them to get all the rewards, but you are going to enjoy the larger paycheck. And then I love the Charlie Brown and Snoopy. It's a true partnership. And if there are crickets going on, it starts with you going back to the belief of, do you believe that you've given the best host coaching you can possibly give? It all circles around to that partnership. They're earning all the free products, and be aware of the current and the next month's specials, because when you're having those conversations for bookings and you want to make sure that the current host is getting the future party pick, be aware, people want to work with people who are busy and they have knowledge about the company. So you know your June, know your July. And then what I do is with the host booking challenge, and this again, these are sample scripts, take a screenshot, because you always want to raise the expectation, raise the bar, and get the most for the host. So there are a lot of different ways you can do this. And many of us, what we're doing is we'll do a post on the virtual party. We might have the shaded 3 spoons. Right now I'm doing beach balls that pop up on a beach scene. And I talk about, you know, we're looking for 3 bookings for this host. And when the 3rd show is booked and held, then I'll have an extra thank you gift for the host. So I will start with a graphic on the party, and I will refer to the free and discounted shopping. I'll refer to the half price booking benefit, and then you have to have those private conversations. So you can send a host booking challenge in a private message to your host, and you give them the verbiage. You know, our goal is to get a minimum of 3 parties. And you say why. Why are you going to do that? Because I'm going to have an extra gift for you. How does that sound? Would you like to learn more? Does that sound good to you? And then if you look on the top right, when the answer is yes, you can give them the verbiage about, all right, would you be willing to message 10 friends, private message, and I'll give you the words to share. How does that sound? Because you don't want to overthink it. You don't want to make it scary. And most people's like, sure, I'll give it a try. Because what if they reach out to 10 and they only get 2? You've got 2, then you work towards the 3. What if they get 4, 5, or 6? So you've got to give them the verbiage. Don't overthink it. Don't be afraid of it. And when the answer is yes, you give them the verbiage. Awesome. Make sure you send to each person individually, because remember, you've already developed the rapport with your host. You want to have the best show for him or her, and this is the way to do it, to encourage. And so what I do is right now with virtual, I am only booking the next few weeks out. I start my parties on Friday. So right now I'm offering June 26th, July 3rd, and July 10th. I am not going too far out because I want to concentrate on the here and now. If you have your July exactly where you want it, then you go into August. But give them the dates that you prefer to book and give them the verbiage to send to individual messages to their guests. So please take a screenshot. There's a lot of info right here. All right, let's take a look at the next one. I think it's over to Peggy.
Peggy, you need to unmute. There you go.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so last week we talked about asking the host 5 different times. So put in the chat, how is that going? Did you ask your hosts that you had last week 5 different times? Let's see how you're doing with that. If a host, and then if a host says yes, look at what stage of the 5 different times that they joined. So just as a reminder, and I believe this JPEG, this picture is actually on the Level Up page. So one of the things that I did is I printed it out and hung it up so that I could remember to do that. But before you set up the party on Consultants Corner, when you send the host packet out or when you first get the initial booking, you want to ask them if they would, and there's actually wording on there, are you interested in joining Pampered Chef? I would still run this party for you, but instead of just getting the host benefits, you would also get the commission on this party. And then when guests begin to RSVP and join the group, you can ask them again, saying, you are doing such a good job. You have a lot of people who are really interested in Pampered Chef. Are just curious, do you want to give this business a try? And then early in the party, when people are responding and things are going good in the party, and then Number 4 is when your host has reached $300 in guest sales, then she's eligible to use $25 for the kit credit. And then before closing the party, you can ask her again, would you like to use kit credit with some of your free product value that you've earned and get started with your own business? So I'm not seeing anybody say anything about that. Or did anybody do that, or is that something that you still need to work on? Okay, and then we can go to the next slide.
Okay, somebody said that they have not done well with that. Another, Debbie Baptist said she's still working on it.
Okay. Do you guys do you have any challenges as to why you haven't done it, or is it just because you just kind of haven't done it yet? In other words, is there something that we can answer for you?
Ooh,
Yes, 5 times in the
did it
middle.
and recruited 2 hosts.
Oh, good.
Vanessa, can you unmute? Let's get a testimony right here and now.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. Yes, I've really started doing that. There's a couple things that I'm really concentrating on and mentioning it to my hosts 5 times is one. And this past week, 2 of my hosts, I actually am in the process of transitioning these parties to them, and we will start their launch party part of that tomorrow.
Wow. So do you mind just sharing, how did that conversation go? Was it by text or phone? Or
well, it actually, most of mine is by phone, and because I talk on my headset, as you guys can see, or maybe not, it's dark. But I always talk on the phone to all of my hosts when I set up my parties. And, I think in virtual that sometimes it's not very personal. So I make sure that at their convenience that the host calls me, and then I set my expectations. And at that point, I ask them, have you ever thought about doing something like this? And I start with that. And of course, most people will tell you no right off the bat. And I said, well, that's fine. And I said, just look at what I do this week, see if it looks very hard. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm taking the I-71 North ramp. So I just ask them, just to look what I do and see if it looks like something that, that you think that you could do. And then sometime during the party, I ask them if they're having a good time. And, wouldn't it be a better time if this was your party and you were making the commission and, and getting the host benefits? So yeah, I just try to hit it with them several times. And so I've actually, usually on that conversation, the last 2 of my hosts have said, well, you know what, I think that it would be something that I'd like to try. And then I have a conversation with them, and it may be 15 minutes, it may be 30 minutes on the phone, and we talk about things, and they go to my website and look at all the things. So yeah, I've had a lot of success with posting it, to my host.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Peggy, I'm sorry for interrupting. I just thought you were looking for a testimony since you asked if anybody did it. So
Well, thank you, Marie, and thanks to the people who said that they are asking. And looks like Paula says she has somebody signing on Friday. So hopefully that will encourage you, the folks who haven't yet asked, to help them, give them some desire to ask. So now, who do you know and why would they be good at Pampered Chef? So think of these characteristics and how you can, what host would fall into that characteristic. So maybe they're enthusiastic. Maybe they're really lots of fun. Maybe they are a people person or a people magnet. Maybe they have lots of friends. Maybe they love Pampered Chef and they're like a Pampered Chef junkie. Maybe they love to cook. Maybe they talked about one of their favorite products or did a demo or something like that on a party. Those are all things that you can point out to your hosts and say, you would be good at this. You really, you know a lot of people, or you're such fun. You're coming up with your own posts or whatever. Or you sometimes even a host, I say to them, you're doing my job. You're talking about all the products and whatever. So those are all different things that you can say to people. Do you guys have any other different ideas of who would be good at Pampered Chefs? People maybe that you've seen on parties, whether they've said yes or no, but people that you've seen in something maybe different that you've said to them. If you have that, please post that in the chat. Okay, and then I think we go to the next slide.
All right, so guys, one thing that Peggy was saying, this is something I'm really passionate about because there's so many people that could do really well in this business, and we want to think about not only why they would be good at doing this, but also what could it do for them. And one thing that I did think about when Peggy was talking, I have a consultant that signed, and she said it was she was already selling the products because she'd be talking to her friends about how much she loved something. And when she was looking to add some income to their family, everyone was like, why aren't you selling Pampered Chef? You already talk about it enough. So think about those people in the parties that maybe post a picture of them using something, or maybe they share a lot about a product. But think about, like, this is where building that relationship with your guests is so important, because you want to know about them. And so have that chatter. You do not need to be in the Facebook parties 24/7. I live a very busy life, and so I set timers on my phone of checking them in the morning and checking it in the evening. And I do say that in my welcome video. I tell my hosts that I will check in twice a day in those parties, but if there's something that you want to make sure I see, message me about it. And I think that also is important to help you get recruits, because if they think you're on your phone 24/7, they're not going to want to become a Pampered Chef consultant that does all virtual parties. So just know, set those boundaries, and it's not going to hurt your business. It's going to help it. And it's going to help you personally, so you're not going to get overwhelmed. And so think about, how could this be good for them? Maybe they mentioned needing some extra income. Maybe even they talk about they don't like their job, maybe with that. And just always ask these questions to help you find the answers to these. And then you can bring it into a personal message and say, hey, you were awesome at sharing all of these products that I feel like you are already a consultant. Have you ever considered becoming one, or doing what I do, or becoming a virtual consultant? And then you can see what they say, and then you can respond, yeah, I know you were looking for some extra income because you're a stay-at-home mom. We have a lot of consultants that are stay-at-home moms, and this could work for you. Would you want to give it a try? If you are going to reach out to them personally, you want to have that relationship and know about them. So when you're doing your two-way contacts, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but when you go do your two-way contacts, I have so many people on my team that thought you always had to ask about booking, or you always had to ask about the business. Sometimes you just need to build that relationship, and then you will find that door or that window where you can talk about it. But always start those conversations. And so think about finding out more about them and what it could do for them. You guys can read that list. I don't need to read it to you, but think about those people. And This is a side note, but ask your husband, ask your best friend, ask someone to help you find those people. I do that to my husband, and he has helped me find some recruits that have been very successful because, like, hey, who do you think would be good at this, or who needs this? And he will come up with people. So do it. And see, you can easily put this as a post in your parties. See what people would choose. You don't even have to do it with a spoon. You could make something yourself, but I love this graphic.
So I just want to really quickly add, in addition to reading between the lines, it's very, very important to be intentional with your posts on your virtual parties, because you might have the silent lurkers in the shadows all week. And so a couple of days ago, I had someone in a party, didn't comment, didn't play a game, there was no communication, messages me to have a show. And then I said, well, have you ever thought about the business? Are you interested in turning your show into a kickoff? And she's now a member of the team running her first block party, and she was an absolutely silent participant. So in addition to reading and watching those red flag questions and posts, you just don't know who's in that show paying attention. So another reason to be very, very intentional. So here is our call to action. And you've heard us say many, many times throughout all the training calls, you've heard us refer to Dash, STIR, and taking advantages of the resources that corporate is offering to us. And so continue with Dash. And for those of you who are maxed out, maybe go into the marketing imagery and check out the party planning, and there may be some things you haven't checked out. So just really watch all those resources available. Contacts are key. 15 contacts a week would be minimum. We are aiming for bullseye. We are aiming for 25 a week. Your goal, your intentionality is to book 3 new parties from each virtual party. 1 would be to replace that current show, and 2, to always have continued business. So you want to have 12 new bookings on your calendar by the end of the week. Take immediate action on implementing the following. Work on writing 3 affirmations and read them aloud twice a day. Peggy talked about how she starts her day and ends her day with those. Say it out loud. People have been known to write them on Post-it notes and put them on the steering wheel or the bathroom mirror, the computer, wherever you're going to see them, so those become part of your day. Start using the host booking challenge in your parties, and check out all the graphics and play around with the Canva or the PicMonkey that you've had perhaps on some of the other trainings, and make what's comfortable for you, but develop that rapport and continue that relationship with your host. You want to ask your host every 5 times. You just went over that with Peggy. Create an online guest survey for your parties. It's really important. I call it a customer care survey, because you want to know how you can best help them in the future. And again, that question that's really important, if your host became a consultant, would you support him or her? That's powerful, because someone might not want to book with you today on the show, but they want to support their friend if and when that person gets started. So work on that online guest survey. Keep adding names to your list of contacts, your hot list for recruiting. You've got to have a rolling contact, and whatever system works for you. I am old school. I am paper pencil. Spiral notebook works for me. And then I will highlight. And if someone tells me to get back to them, I will write that in my calendar, because the worst thing we can do is let a lead slip through the cracks. If something should happen, you don't call back in a timely manner, just start with an apology. You're being honest, you're being genuine, people will respect that. But keep track, whatever your system might be. And then implement your host coaching system. And again, so many resources. Check out that Danny Callentine, check out PC Team Training. And then message your director with 2 takeaways that you're going to implement. And this is a great reminder for upcoming conference. If you've not attended conference before, these call to actions, we give you a lot. When you attend our conference in a couple of weeks, you're going to get a lot. Pull out the 2 or 3 big takeaways, highlight, put a sticker. You can't do it all. And rather than beat yourself up on what you don't get done, celebrate what you did get done.
Okay. When your why is big enough, you will find your how. So your why is what you are passionate about. What is the reason that you are doing this? If you absolutely need the money to make a mortgage payment, then you are going to find a way to make that mortgage payment. If you need, $100 more to make level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or the free for all, and you really want those new products, you are going to find a way to get those orders. You are going to do something. And that is why your why needs to be big enough. It needs to elicit emotion in you, not just like, oh, well, yeah, I want to make more money or something like that. That is not going to motivate you. So you really want to connect and think about, what is my why? What do I want to do? And maybe even break it down every month as to how much you want to make or how many bookings you want to get. I am not going to give up until I, get 3 bookings from the party or 2 bookings from the party or whatever. But your why, if you haven't thought about your why, then that is something that you really want to work on, because that is going to be the emotional motivating force for you. Because there's times when we just don't want to do it. We all go through that. We just don't want to do it. But if that why is there, that will push us through.
Thank you, Peggy. And I'm going to end that we're lifelong learners. And so we have an extra credit reading list, Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. I will sum that up in a nutshell. Most people faced with a set of steps and the escalator, how many do you think will take the steps versus the escalator? How many? Raise your hand if you think most people will go on the escalator. Come on, let me see you. Okay. If you said escalator, you would be right. Very few people take the steps, but it's the little hard work of taking the steps that will get you places. The Energy Bus by John Gordon. You are the driver of your bus and you're inviting people to come on your bus. You are a owner of your life and you're going to figure out where you want it to go. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That book is an amazing little book, and he talks about the little things that you do day by day that in a day don't seem like much, like the 15 minutes to exercise or turning down that one cheeseburger. But over the year, over time, those little things make a huge difference. The Power of Focus by Jack Canfield. I mean, could you imagine how strong you would be if you could focus and laser in on what you wanted to do? Go for No by Richard Fenton. Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. And we are going to stop sharing. Okay. Did we stop sharing? Am I doing this okay? All right. Well, congratulations. You have finished the 4 weeks of Level Up. You can all unmute and give yourself a hand. Yay. Yay, not so yay. No.
I even saw some dancing, Mrs. Monserino. She's dancing over there.
Oh, that's good. I am just, okay. Let's cancel this and just shut this down. I want to be able to see you guys bigger.
Oh, I'm muted. 70s.
There we go. All right. So I just want to ask, now that this is over, it is open for comments or questions. And I would love to hear from somebody who made some progress this month. Since the beginning of June to today, has this been helpful? What did you learn? Is there something that you implemented?
Hi, it's Rosie here. I implemented the, here, I'll turn my video back on here. I implemented our host Will with the 3 little spoons, and I got 5 hosts. So it was my first time using that little icon, and it worked, and it was awesome. So.
Wow. So what did you say? You just posted it, or did you have some comments, or?
So I said that, well, Nicole, so my host was really awesome because she, you know, talked to her friends and said, I really want to, there's these other gadgets that I want for 50% off, and I'll get a 50% off gadget at your party. So.
Great. And so you put the 3 spoons up and you got 5 bookings?
Yep.
Good for you. You exceeded expectations.
Yay, Rosie.
Who else would like to share a win or something that happened this month?
I think Kate Lee should share some point because she's rocking it with her recruiting and all that.
And Kate, you had an adorable, why not? Why not do this? Why not?
You, my 90-day, I signed up in March, so I think it's like July 27th, and I've had 4 people sign up as consultants with me, I think, in the past 2 months, so.
Wow, you're 1 away?
Yeah. 1
All
away.
All right, laser focus. Where is that 1 or 2 or
I
3?
know, I tried.
Well, it's not over yet. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who else? Anybody else want to share? Adriana said, yes, I was able to book 6 more parties, 4 being this week, 1 new recruit, and I'm working on stuff. I am going to